get this pop-up that meeting has been live streamed. Just press on got it and don't leave it. And yeah, we're all good to go.
On a count of 3, 2, 1. Greetings, everyone. Welcome to that time of the day where you come across amazing people with providing amazing content, which is valuable for a lifetime. Well, today we are going to talk all about ethical hacking. Well, whenever you think about hacking, there are these trippy videos or the footages that you find in Indian cinemas, just talking about hacking into a bank server, hacking into let's say any server. Well, today we're gonna analyze the reality of this. So we have Saish Solanki. Well,
Yes, thank you.
welcome to BlueLearn, man.
Thank you for such a lovely introduction. And I would like to say that my name is Saish Solanki, and currently I'm a BE engineering student pursuing my information technology course. And I'll be talking about ethical hacking, and I'll try to explain it in a way that anyone could understand, and it's busting myths mostly. As you said, there are a lot of myths going around about ethical hacking. Basically, the first one is if you see a hacker, he'll be like this. That's not the scene. That's purely not the scene. No hacker comes in a hoodie, depressed, and I guess there might be some black hat hackers like that, but mostly it is not the scene for ethical hacking. Ethical hacking is very much different from what a persona that has built up in the country, in the world actually nowadays. So I'll start with my presentation and hope that you all learn a lot and enjoy it. Okay, is my voice low? Okay, is it audible enough now?
Oh,
I think it is fine for me.
Yeah, it's
Yes?
even fine for me. Yeah.
Okay, then I'll continue like this only. Yeah. Yeah, so to start with the introduction about myself. So as I am a budding ethical hacker, you all can say I'm a script kiddie for now, but I've gone through many competitions of capture the flag, and I've learned a lot through those competitions. And if you all need, here are the LinkedIn, YouTube, and Instagram links to contact me for any doubts for this session, after this session, anything. I'm freely available and happy to help you out. Yeah. So with this, I'll give an introduction to hacking. Basically, hacking is not a bad thing. Whenever people hear hacking, they basically decide that it's a bad job, it's a bad work, it's a bad deed. But no, that's not the truth actually. Hacking is just gaining access to a system or gaining access to a particular data. And that can be for good reasons also. And we'll see how that goes. To just give a brief intro, I guess this was beautifully done by Farah yesterday also, but I would like to just give small talk on this. Types of hackers: white hat hacker, who are totally ethical hackers, who do hacking for a good purpose behind a company, government, or any personal endeavor. The black hat hackers, who try to hack for malicious purposes, or they try to, you can say, steal data or basically harm anyone or any company. There are gray hat hackers. Gray hat hackers are a combination of white and black hat hackers, which do white hat stuff all day, but they might try to do some small robberies or something like that. If you all have seen a series known as, I'm not sure, I'm sorry, I forgot the series, but yeah.
You mean La Casa de Papel? Money Heist?
No,
Okay.
not Money Heist, not Money Heist. Money Heist, the example in Money Heist, the boy who hacks the camera systems and all, he is a pure black hat hacker. He might not know everything under hacking, but yes, he is a black hat hacker. And the last thing is script kiddie. So script kiddie is me. These are the noobs, you can say, who are basically learning. They are in the starting stages of ethical hacking. You can say they can be having experience of 1 to 2 years or none also. And they try to learn the basics of ethical hacking and use other hacker scripts which are developed before to uh, try penetration testing, etc. Yeah. So history about hacking. Hacking began at the start as a process to optimize systems or find flaws to improve them, or else just to find new stuff, make changes, etc. It was nothing bad. There was the start of hacking was never bad. There were no bad intentions for hacking. So let's see, are you a hacker? I would like to make this a conversation if anyone is ready. Chandan, hello.
Sure. Do you want me to be there, or do you want to select someone from the audience?
Anyone, if it's from the audience, I would be glad. That would be
Sure.
more better.
Guys, put it in the chat. Who wants to be? Okay, Varun raised a hand. Yash, can we get Varun on board?
Oh, yeah, just a second.
Yeah.
Hey, Varun.
Hello.
Hey, hey.
Yes, hello, Varun. So are you a hacker? Can you specify any deed which you've done in your lifetime that
No,
would
I'm not a
specify you as a
hacker.
hacker?
I just have a doubt. That's why I raised a hand. I'm not a hacker.
Sure.
However, you can call me kiddie. I have hacked the Wi-Fi of my neighbors. Just
Okay, so you've tried to hack your neighbor's Wi-Fi.
yeah, but actually there are so many softwares around, so I have used them.
Yeah, so you do come under script kiddie, so you can also be called as a hacker, no doubt. If you keep learning, you will become a pro.
But it's also took a too much time. I have used hundreds of software than one of the useful software I got on the internet.
Yes, actually, there are a lot of softwares going around, and nowadays hackers try to find new softwares and new ways to hack so that they can easily hack or improve the efficiency of these softwares. So as you said, I would like to give a story of mine. I tried hacking my neighbor's software too. Sorry, my neighbor's Wi-Fi too.
Sir, I just want to request you that your voice is too much low. Many are people are commenting, and I also commented. Can you speak more clearly and loudly?
That's just a suggestion. If there is a fan running, can you turn it off, because it is too
Okay.
hitting on the mic.
Okay, is this better now?
Yes, it's better.
Yeah.
Keep continuing.
So, yeah. So I would like to tell my story also. I tried out hacking the same way as everyone does, trying to hack my neighbor's Wi-Fi to practically use his data connection at my advantage. But he didn't come to know. But I would like to say this is actually a wrong thing to do, which I
Yeah.
learned later on. So it's illegal, and if a police complaint is registered under your name, then you can give a fine or you can be arrested for that.
Jail.
There are strict rules according to that. Yeah. So that's pretty much the history which I'd like to give for now. So I have listed 10 hackers over here. If you all like, after the session, you all can go read the names, do research of your own. But I'd like to tell you guys about Conrad Zuse. He was the person who created the first computer during World War II to decode messages sent by the Germans. So his task was hacking, actually. He decrypted the messages sent by the Germans midway to win the World War. So this is a classic example of hacking. I'm not sure which side. Yes, Alan Turing did help in this. Yeah. So then after that, I would like to talk about John Draper. John Draper, also known as Captain Crunch. He got this name because he used to hack mobile phone companies' telephone lines using that to his advantage for free calls, etc., or hacking radio wave connections or gaining access to connections. So that was used, a, a device, actually a toy from the snack Captain Crunch was used by him to create a tool which was further used to gain access of telephone lines. Then I'd like to talk about Kevin Mitnick. He was a glorious hacker. He used he used to hack systems, companies basically, and capture their data. He did not use that data for malicious purposes, but yeah, he did post them online, all the data. So he had bad intentions, but not the long way. Yeah. And actually did he did get caught, but later on, after getting caught, the FBI's knew his talent and ended up hiring him to work as a cybersecurity agent or consultant. Yeah. So these are the notorious history hacks, which I would like to say. If y'all have seen Melassa virus was very devastating. I am not sure. I won't like to take time more over here now because I would like to go further on the hands-on session. But yeah, if you all go through these hacks, does anyone know about these hacks? The Melissa virus, Citibank hack, or the Yahoo hacks? Basically, if Citibank hack was done to rob, I guess, millions of dollars in America at that time, which was too much in 1997. And it was not that tough if you go to see now. Now that's not possible. That's another scenario, but yeah. So moving on. I would like to tell you the steps for ethical hacking followed by a black hat hacker. So over here, as you all can read, first he does information gathering and reconnaissance, in which he tries to gather all the information he needs. Example, if I'm trying to hack Chandan itself, I would try to gather all the information related to Chandan from social media, internet, Google, everywhere, using all the techniques I know. Then I'll do a vulnerability assessment in which I'll try to see how hard would it be to hack Chandan, what all preparations I would have to do, how or to what links I would have to go to hack. Then I would start with penetration testing and gaining access, in which, if possible, I'd go to a place where Chandan connects, basically a network where Chandan connects, and I'd try to get access to that network, then getting access to the device in hand with Chandan. So that is there. Then if after getting the access to Chandan's device, I would try to get a higher privilege on the device, gaining admin rights, changing passwords of his device, basically knocking him out of his own device and getting all the data whichever I want from that device. And then at the end, I would like to remove all the traces which I left, thus keeping myself secure from the hack which I've done. And the steps followed by a white hat hacker. I would like to say that a white hat hacker does lots of work to catch a black hat hacker. And it is 10 times more tough for a white hat hacker to do his job in with similarness to a black hat hacker. The reason being that white hat hackers have to follow the law, they have restrictions, they can't freely go around tampering with systems and trying to catch sniff around systems. But that's not for the same case for a black hat hacker. He has all options open to him and he can do whatever he wants. So yeah, as you all can see, it's mostly the same thing, but the change over here is that a white hat hacker has to make a legal documentation beforehand. And after going through the hacking process, he has to generate a report of the type of threat which is possible to the client or the company, then a patch or a solution. He has to provide a solution for the vulnerability which is present in the system or in the company itself. And then he has to do a revalidation, like how much has he improved that system and how much can he improve more or what improvements can be done further. Yeah. So before the hands-on session, I would like to say that currently I'll be using Kali Linux, and that is my go-to OS to test ethical hacking and test different softwares, go through competitions. If you all want to know which is the best system, actually, I'd like to say there is no right answer. There is no particular best system. It depends on you, which you're more comfortable with, which you would like to use. But there is an advantage of using Kali Linux or any other security OS, as there are a lot of pre-installed softwares to perform penetration testing, vulnerability assessment, etc. So two ways to, if you all could go to Kali Linux documentation page, you all would find a dual boot option and a virtual machine option, and all the steps are given down there. You all can easily use those steps to install Kali Linux and use it for free. Yeah. So let's begin with the hands-on session. Should we take up any questions now, or are we doing that at the end, Chandan?
We usually do it at the end, but like if after everything, like it can be like common doubts, so maybe we can do it in the end too.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. So currently I'll be showing Wi-Fi hacking. I'll be using two softwares. For the first part, I'll be using Wi-Fi, and the second is a combination of Airmon, AirDump, AirReplay, AirCrack, all these four softwares. So for the start, I'll begin with Wi-Fi. Yes. So as you all can see over here, Wi-Fi has started, and this is a software.
Sash, I think the screen is just fit to that specific window rather the current window.
I'm sorry. I will just,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll start it again, no issues. Yeah, so the command over here, I use this sudo Wi-Fi, sudo being a command to give root privileges to the software. And as I begin, you can see that this software is especially interesting because it starts scanning networks. It does all the hacking system continuously on its own. It's totally automated. And speaking about hacking Wi-Fi's, I would like to say that hacking Wi-Fi network, why is it so important? Why do people rush to hack Wi-Fi networks? I would like to say that Wi-Fi hacking is very much intrigued because gaining access to the network is very much important. The reasons can be he could basically want to use data connection or the data net of someone else, or that could be the simplest reason. the worst case scenario that a hacker could try to gain access to the network so that he could perform a man in the middle attack. As it is said in the name, he would try to come in between the router and the attacking person. And then he would try to listen to the conversation between the router and the target user. He might also try to grab crucial information like username, passwords, if the attacking client is not using HTTPS and using HTTP. So even if he uses HTTP, then the hacker can stay on the network and gain all the information about what he does, which website he visits, and all that. So over here, as you can see, we've scanned the networks again and again. And for now, we've found 5 networks over here. And yes, so I would like to show you, after this, we have to select the number which Wi-Fi which we would like to hack. So here I'll be doing 3, the third one. As you can see, it has already started a Wi-Fi hacking process in which it is using the pixie dust method. If you all can go online later on, it is using a pixie dust method, and this method, it would try to use other method also. If it fails over here, it would continue and try to use other methods whichever are possible. And thus you have to do nothing. You just have to sit over there, relax, and let the software do its job. Not like the olden method in which you have to scan the network, try to stay on that network, do air replay attack in which you do de-authentication of the devices, all that. Okay, as this goes on, okay, it was taking a lot more time. I will try another network for now. Okay, so till this goes on, we can head on to the other parts. If you all can see over here, the commands for Wi-Fi and the other method, the commands over here. As you can see, Wi-Fi it's much more easier to use. And if you use Airmon, AirDump, NG, if you use all those softwares, then it's much more complicated. You have to have multiple terminals open together, and then you have to, for the first one, you try to monitor the network. In the second one, in the first one, you actually enter monitoring mode of a network in which you get all the information around your network and all the Wi-Fi, all the clients connected to the particular Wi-Fi's. Then you'll do air dump in which you'll gain access to the system by not gain access to the system. I mean, you'll stay on that particular channel and try to get all the information which goes to that channel. And then using air replay, you'll try to do a de-authentication attack in which you let the Wi-Fi router and the client de-authenticate to each other and try to reconnect again. When they reconnect, you actually capture the password, which is known as capturing the handshake. And then that handshake is particularly used to perform a brute force attack using aircrack, in which you try all possible combinations of passwords until you reach the correct one. So if you want to keep your Wi-Fi safe, I would suggest you all use a length of password more than 8, about 10 or more, and use alphabets, letters, special characters, everything. The more different characters you use, the more impossible it gets for a user to hack your Wi-Fi using this method, because then the system would take a long time to perform the brute force attack. And the second thing I would like to show you all is PDF hacking. Basically, we would gain access to a password protected PDF. Okay. So this is the PDF which I have, and it is a 4-letter password which I've kept for now, only alphabets, and we'll be hacking this PDF. Let's see what happens. Yeah. So as you all can see, the commands which we are going to use over here, we are going to use a program provided by John the Ripper software, PDF to John. We are going to use the language Perl, programming language Perl. After that, we are going to use a software called Crunch to build a password list. In this, we would use a specific word list that would be used to hack the PDF itself. And specifically in Crunch, you can use a combination of words, letters, specific words, or all the words itself. You can go through many stuff and create your own word list. And at the end, we are going to use John the Ripper. And in John the Ripper, we are going to match the hash which we are going to obtain from the Perl. The hash would be the stored password. Basically, the password goes through a hashing function, and this hashing function creates a hash for that password. So this would also be a brute force attack in which we take the word list, we take every password, and then we let it go through a hash function, the same hash function, and check if both the hash functions are same. So you can see this is the PDF. Okay, so as you all can see over here, the hash is obtained. Okay, over here, I'm using Crunch to create a password word list in which the minimum and maximum password length is 4. And then I'll be using @ to specify small case characters, basically. So it would start from A to Z and create a password word list and save it as word.txt. As you all can see, a word list file is created of around 2 MBs. This was a very small word list, hence it took very less time over here. But if you all go to create a word list for 10 passwords, having all numbers, digits, and alphabets, then it's gonna take a long time for your, mostly the size of the word list would go to GBs, 10 GB, 12 GBs. And then using that to do a brute force attack is very messy and it consumes a lot of time. Okay, so as you all can see, uh, we have obtained the password over here. The password for this PDF file is QWER. So you all can use these techniques to gain access to a PDF file, QWER. Yes. And the PDF is hacked. Yeah. So with this done, I'd like to get to the second part, Technography. Yeah. So what Technography is actually it's trying to hide a message inside some other message or some object or something like that. That is the normal thing which happens in a steganography task. And for other things, like in the computer world or basically in our internet era, steganography can be used in images, PDF files, videos, sounds, anything. You all can hide text inside images. You all can hide files inside images. You all can hide text in image forms, wavelengths, in which you have to have a visual representation of the image. You all can hide text in music, in which you have to use a wavelength form for the music which you are listening to. And then you might see some surprising text over there. You all can use another technique for hiding plain messages or hiding other files within a PDF file, basically. So I'll be, for steganography, today I'll be teaching or showing two different things. Basically, hiding a text message in the metadata of an image. So what is metadata? Metadata over here is basically the basic information of the image, name, length, dimensions, etc., how, which tools were used, when, the time and date when the image was captured, where it is edited, etc., everything. And with that, I would also try to extract a document text file from an image which contains certain text within it. Yeah. So I would like to also say that the reason behind steganography is that people don't want particular messages to go out or particular information to get leaked while transferring them. So you can use all these different steganography techniques to hide information in plain sight. Assume that I have a password and username, say admin and admin, and I would like to hide it. I could hide it in the metadata of an image, so and send it to a friend of mine, and no one else except my friend would know that there is something special in the metadata of that image. Everyone would think it's just a normal image. So for now, I'll be using the command strings to obtain all the strings and metadata information which is there inside an image. And with that, I'm also using steg hide to extract a file from the image. You can use steg hide to embed image files on the image also. It works both ways. As you all can see over here, there are two images. If I use strings on the first image, I get a lot of data over here, which is shown. If it's visible now clearly. So all this data is shown over here. many of the times a lot of the data which is shown over here is not useful for us. It's not understandable for us. But as you all can see, Canon, this model of Canon cameras was used to click this picture. It was edited in GIMP using the software, open source software GIMP. You can see there is a copyright over here. And if you all just go down and see, yes, found the statement which I myself had put in this image. If you all open the image, as I show you, this is the image. This is the image, and this is a normal image of a lizard. And no one would understand there is some text hidden over there. But now you all know how to find the text when needed. With that, I would also like to show stake height. So I'm using stake height to extract a file from the second image, image one, which is named, and enter a passphrase. There is no passphrase. I'll just hit enter. And yes, I've extracted a file, data file, dummy file. So let's see what's in this dummy file. You'll go to see. Yes, you found this file. That's my. So this much information was embedded in the text file. And the key advantage of doing this is like you can hide your username and password, the most crucial username and password, which you won't show anyone or use anywhere. You can hide it, save it over here. It would be around 35 bytes. And then adding this to the image does not increase the size of the image a lot. As you can see, it's 3.6 kbs. And no one would suspect such a small file, image file, to have something within it. If you try to store a 4 to 5 MB PDF, then the size of the image would increase drastically. And with a low resolution and big size, it would be easily understood that there is something fishy behind this image. Yeah. So I'd like to get back to the hacking. Yeah, the Wi-Fi hacking. As you all can see by now, the software has hacked the Wi-Fi password, and the password is over here. As you all can see, this was the target, and we've obtained the password using Wi-Fi. This is a very easy method to use, but I would like you all to go through the old methods and try the old methods again so that you all understand what actually happens behind it. So any questions? Hello, Chandan.
Yes. So, okay, whoever has questions, you can put it in the chat box, or you can raise your hand and we'll bring on to the stage. Yash, can we do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's this question: Can you please share the roadmap required to learn ethical hacking and also the scope of ethical hacking in India?
Okay, so the roadmap required for ethical hacking. Well, I would like to say when people think of ethical hacking, they try to learn each and every software in depth. They try to learn each and every program in depth. What I think is first, you have to have a general knowledge, not in depth, but a general knowledge of different programming languages, machine language, the machine language, and how the network works. Basically, how data is sent, the protocols, the OSI layer, etc. You need to have information of all this. But then after this, you have to decide, would you like to be a network, like you would like to do ethical hacking on a particular network, or would you like to do website hacking? Would you like to go for Android hacks? Would you like to do bug bounty hunting? You would have to be specific. What would you like to do? And then just keep on going, find whatever you can read, go through books available online. There's a lot of stuff available online. The beginning for me, which helped me a lot in this field, was capture the flag competitions. Basically, these are competitions which have various tasks given to you of ethical hacking. The task can be a combination or separate tasks related to steganography, cryptography, reverse engineering, open source intelligence gathering, etc. And you would have to get the flag, or basically this flag is a set of strings which is hidden somewhere. Or if you're using cryptography, it might be encrypted and you have to decrypt to get the flag and submit this flag. So after going through, I guess, around 20 to 25 competitions, I guess I have some basic knowledge now in ethical hacking. Yeah. And to be fair, in India, you have a very wide scope for ethical hacking. Not only in India, you have a very high scope in the world, as ethical hacking is exponentially increasing. The importance of ethical hacking is exponentially increasing with new technologies coming out, AI, blockchain. You have an opportunity everywhere. So it's more upon your interests and where you would like to go. Yeah. Any other questions?
Varun has raised his hand. I'll ask him to unmute.
Yeah, sure.
Question was the same, the roadmap about, but I want to know, beside from India, can you tell me about foreign countries, if you know?
Achha, so like, do you want to
And
go
not just
for,
why I want to know about ethical hacking. Is there any other field of hacking in cybersecurity, or is it generally known as ethical hacking?
actually, we use the term ethical hacking, like hacking is a broad category in which it depends if you're doing web hacks, if you're doing Android hacks, if you're doing some other kind of hack, if you're trying to hack a particular automobile, if you're trying to hack a radio system, it could be anything. So the term ethical hacking is used because it shows that you're doing stuff for a good reason. You're not doing it for malicious purposes. You're doing it to generally increase efficiency, or basically to improve the security of a system. And about abroad, so like, would you like to know about further studies for ethical hacking in abroad, or cybersecurity in abroad, like outside India, or something else?
Oh, he's muted. Just a second. I'll ask him to unmute again. Yeah.
Both, sir, both.
Okay. So outside India, I'm not much known about the cybersecurity courses, but I would like to say yes, there are a lot of courses in Canada, in Netherlands, in I would like to say America, and if you go to the top universities over there are the courses, like the knowledge which they provide. I've gone through some of the syllabus of their courses and it's phenomenal. It would be the experience over there which you would attain, it will be very important for you, and you would learn about different systems, different softwares, different commands, how to write scripts, you would learn about Python, you would learn about all these different systems. You would learn all this over there. Basically, it's over here in India also. In India, it is not bad. It might be underestimated, or not much known, but yeah, there are good courses in India also. There is a course in Hyderabad, a college in Hyderabad. So if you go through the internet, you'll find a lot of resources which would point you towards fabulous courses. And except that, if you just want to learn ethical hacking, if you just need information, you don't need certifications, you just want the knowledge, then I guess it never depends on which country you're from or which country you want to go to. All this knowledge is very much available throughout the internet, and you could easily gain access to this information and try to learn through different websites like Try Hack Me, or you could go to Pico CTF to practice on their CTF machines. So you can try all that. Any other questions?
There's one this like, have you done an internship?
Okay, actually, I did go for an internship in the cyber police branch over here in my state, but unfortunately, the person who was going to teach me was too busy behind the cases which he had, and he was not able to give me any technical knowledge. But yes, I did understand the working of the cyber branch, how cases are handled, how the police work to catch cyber criminals. Yeah.
Also, is it important to have a dual boot operating system, or a Linux, or will a virtual machine work too?
Actually, it is not important to have a dual boot system. You can very easily go throughout all the processes on the virtual machine. I practically prefer dual boot because I like a more hands-on approach. Like if something goes wrong, I would like to break my head, go through all the websites, find a solution, do something like that. Using a virtual machine is also good if you don't have that much space on your PC, or if you would not like to bug around with the booting system. There are chances that you might screw up or something bad can happen, and then you would have to install the Windows part also again. Yeah, but that is there in the VM. There are chances of having low performance or slow issues, which you would not face on a dual boot system. Any other questions?
I don't see any other, but if anyone has, you can put in chat or raise your hand, guys. Also, if you don't know where is like raise hand option, is like in the bottom of your screen.
Any specific thing, anything is fine. No issues. Y'all can bring out all the questions over here.
What if the person is not interested in coding and want to enter in cybersecurity?
Actually, that is possible. It's not an issue. See, the thing over here is that you need, while hacking, if you're trying to use a particular code, or if you get around a code which you have to analyze, then you need to know how that code works. So that's why you need the basic information of that coding language. You need not need proper in-depth information, like you need not build an app from scratch or a software from scratch. But then you need to understand what that program is doing, basically. So coding is not that necessary, but yes, you need basic information of coding. The fundamentals, basically the fundamentals. It is not that hard to learn.
Great. I guess the one asked question we got his answer.
Yeah. So I guess someone was talking about VPNs.
Yeah, like do you use VPN? It's just a simple question.
Yes, actually, VPNs are very important. Personally, I don't use them if I'm on a private network or on my own network. But when you're on open Wi-Fi networks or something like that, some other open network, then it is very necessary to use a VPN. The reason being that, as you all saw, it is if you gain access to a Wi-Fi network, then you all can go through with man-in-the-middle attacks. And in these attacks, if the attacker can try to gain the username and password of a system while you go through internet or your daily activities, even if that is not possible because the site is secure, he can try to gain all the information of what you do, where you go, which websites you log into, which websites you access, what you search, all that. So all that becomes a key information for the hacker. He can build a profile and then he can launch social engineering attacks in which he tries to contact you through email, mobile phone, social media, and tries to manipulate you or tries to send a malicious software to you, making you use that software. And that software not need not be totally malicious, like it need not be open to you, but yes, it might be seen as a free software, a nice thing for the client, but he might end up downloading a malicious software and harming his own system. Okay, any other thing?
Or do you know any about like any hacking competition or something?
Yes, as I mentioned before, I would like to tell about capture the flag competitions. If you all go to ctftime.org, over there you will get all the informations of the CTF competitions. They are accessible to everyone worldwide, and it is very, and I won't say all the competitions are very easy, but there are some basic beginner level competitions, and you all can practice for these competitions also. These competitions would give you the practical experience which you need. Like practicing hacking is quite difficult for anyone because there is a chance that you might unknowingly do a illegal activity, and to stop that you can participate in these competitions. You can go through the techniques, the ways, the sums which they provide and solve those questions, and that becomes very useful. You can to participate over there. If you don't know, no issues. The first CTF which I entered in personally, I had no idea to solve any of the questions and I was at the bottom. But then I learned more. I read through more solutions of previous competitions. I understood more. And then now I'm able to solve more questions than before. So it's more about reading, trying out new stuff. The main problem is that if you do this alone, if you don't go through some course, if you're trying to learn it on your own, then you're going to hit a lot of barriers in your life. And you should not be disheartened by those barriers. You have to keep trying again and again. If you find one error, go through documentations of softwares, go to other websites, go to forums, try to find a solution, etc. Yeah. Any other thing? Hello. So
Oh yeah, I'm just going through messages. I mean, there are like, should we use VPN while purchasing crypto or working in Web3 industries? Lot of people recommend using because like crypto hacks. Or what's your take on that?
okay. So while purchasing cryptos, I guess the main hacks which happen while purchasing cryptos are the man in the middle attacks. Like the thing usually which happens over there is that once you try to log into say I have a crypto.com website and I'm going to purchase some cryptography coins over there. And the thing is, the hacker using a man in the middle attack, he tries to send a different website which has the same background, the same code, everything is same. Just that this website is not HTTPS secure. This is a HTTP website. And then this way, when you enter in your credentials won't be encrypted and it would be clearly visible to the hacker. Then he might try to refresh and send you back to the original website, which would not raise such suspicions to you. And thus you would gain your valid credentials and try to steal your data. Okay, people working on the Web 3.0 industry. Yes, this is a very much budding industry, and currently I have not read upon any hacks in the crypto system, basically for the crypto coin exchange. But this is a very new criteria, the Web 3.0. And I guess due to it being very new in an initial stage, there are chances that we would see many hacks. Some hacks might be done by you, anyone from the crowd itself in the future, coming future. So let's see.
Also, like, what's this? There's this question: maths level needed for ethical hacking.
Okay, so the maths level. I guess as you're a beginner, you might need very deep knowledge in math. Like you can't leave any part of mathematics over here, because as you go through the programming stuff, as you go further on ahead, when you gain more experience, knowing maths concepts is very much important. It won't be used directly, but through different softwares, through different methods, everything, the whole network, understanding the whole internet network and how network works, how protocols work, everything. In all this, maths is very much needed. So I would like to say, don't skip in maths. It is a very crucial subject for ethical hacking. It's like it provides the best base for you to grow upon.
Oh, I guess that's it with the questions.
Yes.
So can we end?
Yeah.
Yeah, anything, Saish, you have to like add in the end.
Okay. So to end the session, I would just like to say all the enthusiasts out there who want to learn ethical hacking, who want to perform ethical hacking, please go with it. Please try everything. But the important thing over here is that do not become a black hat hacker. You can't go to the dark side. Like even while learning, there are chances that ethical hacker who is learning, just beginning to learn, might do something unethical or might do something illegal. So I would like to say that please stay aware of what you do. And even if you're trying to hack someone's Wi-Fi, that is also not wrong. Please do learn about it. But do take permission from the person whose Wi-Fi you're hacking. Or the best thing is you can set up your own Wi-Fi and try to hack your own Wi-Fi. Or you can use a virtual machine, install Kali Linux over there and try all the hacking sessions through your virtual machine. Yeah. So be safe.
Great, great. Can you share some of your socials maybe so that people can connect with you later?
Yeah, sure. No issues. Like, should I put them on the chat?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, great, guys. Thanks for coming in. Also, if you have like maybe missed some part of the session or something, or if you want to share this live stream will be available on YouTube, so you can watch it anytime afterwards to revise or anything. And yeah, we'll end. Saish will be just sharing his social links in a bit, and if you want to connect, yeah,
Yeah.
it's in the
I've
chat, so
shared
you
my
can.
LinkedIn, Instagram, and YouTube channel. So y'all can contact me through that. I'll
Great,
just
great.
share my email ID also.
Yeah. So thanks, Saish, for
Yeah.
coming. It was really a great session having you
Thank
here.
you so much for inviting me for this session. It's a great honor, guys. Y'all
Glad, glad,
were very helpful for me. And I
glad it
guess,
really got to know a lot about it. And yeah, that's it. We can
yeah,
end it here.